Hello everyone. I wanted to give a demonstration on some things that you can work on with your children over the Christmas break or holiday break. If you're like most adults, you probably don't recall how you learned how to read. You just kind of learned how to read. I'm going to go through a very basic explanation, kind of a breakdown from the most basic skills to how we actually blend letters to read words. The first skill you want to check is to make sure, can they identify the first sound that is in the word? So if I present a word orally and I say the word cat, do they know that the first sound in cat is k? Again, this is not looking at the letters, this is just having the word being told to them. Then the next step, are they able to tell you what the last sound in that word is? So if I tell you the word dog, does the student know that the last sound in dog is g? Okay? Once we know that we know the first sound and then we know the last sound, we want to see if they know all the sounds in a word. So back to the word cat, the sounds would be k, a, t. Can they tell you all of those sounds? A lot of students will tell you this first sound is k and then say at. Okay, and that's an understandable place to be. We want to get them to the point where they can tell us all of those sounds, the k, the a, the t. And again, still, we haven't even presented a word in writing yet. This is just presented orally. Okay? After we're able to break that, or we're able to tell those individual sounds, can they do it the other way around, and can they blend those sounds together? So if I give you k, a, t, can we put those together and say, oh, that word's cat. I know that one. Okay? Those are all presented orally at that point. Then the next thing we want to know is if we actually show them the letter, do we know that letter sound? Okay? One of the things that we want to make sure is that we know that letter sound and we're presenting it to them the correct way, because that's going to be important for them when then they blend those letters to read those words. Okay, so I'm going to really quickly go through the letters, and we have two different kinds of letter sounds, and I'm going to go through the consonants first and then the vowels. But with the consonants we have a stop sound where it makes a quick sound like we have in b, okay? And then we have a continuous sound like an M where we go and we could go on forever and ever on that one until we run out of breath. Now it's important that with the stop sound we make that a quick B sound, because when we start talking about blending, there's a tendency to add what we call a schwa, and instead of saying B, we'll say buh. And that's going to make a difference if we were blending the word bat, okay? Bat is made out of the sounds B, at, and when we push those together, we get bat. But if we call this a buh, then we get buh at, and then it's a buh at, okay? And that's more difficult for our students to learn how to blend that if we do that this way. So let's go through these sounds. And again, the first one is b, which is a stop sound. K, as in cat, another stop sound. D, as in dog. Okay, as in fun, which they're showing here. G, as in game. H, as in hat. J, as in jug. K, as in kite. L, as in lamp. M, like in man. N, in nut. P, as in pan. Q is a little tricky. Q always comes with a QU, and the sound for Q is qu, like we have in queen. In rat. S, in snake. T, in top. V, as in van. W, as in wind. X is another tough one. We don't hear the X sound at the beginning of any words. The X words that we're familiar with, like X-ray or xylophone, don't really make the X sound. But think about the X in a word like fox or box. That last sound makes a X sound. Okay, so the X sound is X. Y is ye, like in yellow. And Z in z, zebra. Okay? We have some consonant blends, and I've added a couple of those. Okay, when we have S and H together, it makes a sh sound. It's important that we don't try to blend that, or we don't try to make it a s and a h. Okay? Again, like in ship, it makes a sh sound. CK comes together to make one K sound, makes a k sound, like at the end of sock. And CH makes a ch sound, as we have here in chin. TH makes a th, as in thumb. Okay? So those are all of the consonants. And then for the vowels, we have two different kinds of vowels. We have short vowels and we have long vowels. Short vowels should be the default, unless there's a rule that tells you otherwise. Okay? So the short vowel sounds are going to be A says ah, like an apple. I says I, like an itch. E says eh, as we have here in ed. O says ah, like an octopus. And U says like an up. When we say a vowel has a long sound, that means that it's going to say its name. And in just a second, I'll go over some rules that are going to make a vowel say its name. Okay? Well, we have another for up. Let's see. Okay, so our first long vowel is A, as in acorn. We hear the letter A at the beginning of that. So acorn. E, as in the last part of me. Me. The E says E. Okay? Here we have I, and he's saying hi. So I, the I says I. O, from no. Okay? No. The O says O. And then the U, as in flew. U's not an exact U. That's pretty close with the oo sound right there. All right? So those are the sounds. And again, unless there's a rule to tell you otherwise, the student should be going with the short vowel sounds. That I, eh. Okay? We have two different ways that a vowel is going to say its name, primarily. There are a couple out of this. These are cover 75% of the situations that you'll come into. And the first one is what we say is a magic E. Okay? And we have a magic E, and what the magic E does is you won't say the magic E, but it's going to make that vowel say its name. Okay? So in this word we have a, k, make. Okay? The E makes the A say A. Here we have k, I, t, kite. Okay? The E makes the I say E. If we didn't have that E, that would be kit, right? Okay? And the next one, b, o, because the E makes the O say O. Okay? And here's one more. We have t, oo, Again, that oo is what we get for a long U. T-oon, tune. Okay? So that's the magic E rule that's going to make a vowel say its name. And then we have one that we say when two vowels are side by side, the first one says its name with pride, and the second part of that is when two vowels go a-walking, the first one does the talking. Okay? So I have two vowels side by side. Here I have A and I next to each other, so it's going to say tail, tail. The A says its name, the I says nothing at all. Okay? Here, leaf. The E says its name, nothing with the A. Oat, coat. O says its name, the A says nothing. Okay? Fruit. There's that oo again. We have the long U, but we don't hear an I there. Okay? So that's the two vowels side by side. The other one was the magic E. Okay? The last thing that I'm going to show you is I want to show you how we actually blend these letters together to read words. Okay? One of the tricks, if we have a student that says a lot of times that's harder for them to blend than if they say the sounds continuously one into the next one. So we want to train them to go map, map, map. Okay? That's going to help them when we don't stop in between those sounds. Again, we talked about the stop sounds, and that presents more of a challenge. So this is a more difficult word for a child to read because we have that stop sound with the t. And what we want to do is really kind of put that T and A sound together real fast. So that's tap, tap for the word tap. Okay? One more example, and this is just one of our magic E words. Remember, we're not, just because we have a letter doesn't mean we need to say a sound for it. So it's B-I-K. Again, B-I-K, bike. All right? I hope that was helpful for you. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you, again, the sequence from beginning to end of the skills that we just went over. I'm presenting this to my class to be able to work on over the holiday break. I'm also going to send home a book that is a level above, a level below, and the level that they're on right now. Most of y'all will be reading decodable readers, which means the letters are going to say the sounds that you would expect them to. As we get into the higher level books, we're dealing more with reading comprehension. Some of this doesn't pertain as much, but they are the foundational skills that we use for reading, and even the large words break down into those same principles. So again, thank you very much. I look forward to seeing the progress after we come back after the break, and I'm going to show you our sequence, and then we'll close things out. Thanks again. Okay, we have first sound. Can you tell me the first sound in a word? Can you tell me the last sound in a word? Then can you tell me all the sounds? Okay. If I give you sounds, can you blend those sounds together to say a word? Do you know all your letter sounds? And then finally, can you blend those sounds to read words? I hope you have a great break.